My most recent video was a tutorial for an easy Argyle border. A comment to that video by subscriber Ellen gave me the idea to do a follow-up. She said she wanted to try this technique as a background to a page, and I loved that idea. So here is Argyle Part 2. To create this page, we're going to need the same tools that we used to create this border. Now I'm going to create it on the facing page, so I'm going to use the same colors. I've got the leftover paper that I still have from creating the border, and then I got a fresh piece of the dark green cardstock. We'll need our 12-inch trimmer, a repositionable tape runner, that's again the one with the green cartridge that allows you to move things around easily. We'll need our multi-tool, most likely, a pair of scissors, our washi tape, and this little cardboard template that we made. If you're not sure how to create this or why you'll need this, I'm going to put the directions up in the top right corner. That's the original video that I made a few days ago that shows you in the beginning how to create this little piece. For this project, I'm going to create much larger diamonds. I did a 1-inch cut on the border that I made. So this, I'm going to make a 2.5-inch cut, and let's see how that works. Now I've cut several strips of paper that are 2.5 inches wide to make a larger diamond. On the last page that I did, I put it up here at the top and then I fed it through this way, measuring it 1 inch. Now, as you can see, my trimmer only goes to just below 2 inches, so I'm going to put this piece down here. I know it says top, I wrote that on it, but I'm going to attach it to the bottom of my trimmer this time. That way, I'll be able to easily push it through and measure it over here at the 2.5 inches. Okay, with my template at the bottom, first I'm going to line it up and just cut off this little edge to have a flat edge, just like we did last time. Then I'm going to line it this way, and instead of feeding it that way, we're going to feed it this way so that I can measure it at 2.5 inches, which is this line right here. And we cut, and we have a big perfect diamond. All right, and I'll continue this process, just lining it up at the 2.5 inches line, going the backwards direction, the reverse direction, and we'll finish these up. Notice how when I start a new piece of paper, I'm going to line it up right here towards the right. It's just easier that way. And then I'm going to flip that around so that I can measure it this way where I have more ruler space. There we go, perfect. And I'll finish these up. Okay, I've got lots of trash here, and I've got lots of beautiful, perfect diamonds that I've cut. Okay, I'll push those to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the template. Peels off a little cardboard every time, that's okay. I'm going to try to organize these a bit so that I don't have a bad pattern going here. Now that I've got these organized into my 3 patterns and 6 when you count the double side here, I'm going to try to go in some kind of order so that I don't get into a bad pattern situation. And just like when I created this the other day, I can start up here at the top just like this, with the point going towards the sides there. Now when I do the next one, I'm going to give about 1/8 of an inch gap between the 2 diamonds. Now I'm certainly going to hang off here a little bit. And we can go ahead and start filling in the sides as well. This won't take nearly as long to do with the patterns being so big. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm just going to finish this up now. Okay, we're almost done. I have this spot, this spot, this spot, and then these three down here to fill in, or a couple actually will make up this. So I'm going to start cutting these so I don't get into a situation where I don't have enough, although I think I cut plenty of diamonds. It's a bit of a puzzle to make sure that you don't have something that's the same pattern facing itself. You know, I didn't use nearly enough of this, so I'm going to trim this one off up here with scissors so that I can use it down here because I didn't have another one of those. Okay, so I've successfully covered all of the cardstock. Now it's time to flip it over and begin trimming so that we have a neat edge around. Now this is probably not going to fit into my trimmer like this, it's just too big, so I'm going to have to use scissors to trim this up so it can at least fit in the trimmer. Now I realize I did way too many diamonds here, but it's okay. Okay, a little better. Now it will at least fit most of this into the trimmer. Let me just get one side at first. This is where those sight lines on your trimmer are so important. And if you don't know about those and lots of other trimmer features, I'm going to throw up my trimmer video in the top right-hand corner if you'd like to click on that later and check it out and learn all about the Creative Memories 12-inch trimmer. Okay. At least we have a nice straight edge now, and I can easily cut this. Oh, let me cut from the back. It's just easier going from the back because I can see the edge of the cardstock so well. But again, I'm going to use that sight line to make sure I get it correct. There we go, and I'm just going to sweep this off of the trimmer. It's going to look good. And this was not hard. This was a very easy page to do. Didn't cut that bottom one quite as well. Okay, what do you think? I really like this. I think this is going to look great. Now to put it on my page and add my photos. I think to make these photos pop out a little more, I'm going to consider matting them with the dark green cardstock. I'm going to use the leftover green from when I made the original border in the first video. I cut the two smaller photos at 4 inches by 4 inches. I like a thin mat, about 1/8 of an inch, so I'm going to cut those mats at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. In fact, I'll make the most of this paper I have left and cut the mats for the larger photos as well. Those photos are 6 by 4, so the mat will be 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. Cutting the small mat next to the larger mat ensured that they all fit on the paper I have left. I talk a lot about keeping the weight down on your album because the heavier your album is with more paper, the fewer photos you're going to be able to put in there, the fewer pages you're going to be able to put in there, and it's going to be very difficult to hold it and enjoy it. So I like a lighter album. So one little trick I always use, and it saves a little cardstock, is I'm going to cut out the middle of these. I know that's really not a lazy scrapbooker method because I like to do things fast, but I also like light albums. So I'm going to cut just 1 inch border or so. It's not going to be a neat cut. I just cut out a little square. So I can use this as my mat, and it's a lot lighter. I know that doesn't seem like it makes a difference, but when you add that up over several photos, it does make a difference. So I'll knock this out very quickly here. Now I'm going to attach my photos to the mats that I made. Just putting a little bit of tape runner on the inside so that I can attach those without having tape runner on the back of the photo sticking to my table right there. For this one that I cut so poorly, I'm going to use my mini tape runner right here. And if you're curious about all these adhesives, I'm going to throw another video up in the top right hand corner that I did showing all the different adhesives and when to use them that Creative Memories has available. This is so beautiful. I feel kind of bad covering it up, but this is about the pictures, not about this beautiful Argyle pattern that I made, even though I love it. And let me place these before I take them down. I'm so bad about that, just being in such a hurry and getting things done quickly. I want to make sure I like it. I kind of like a lopsided pattern here. And I may just compare this to the other page. Well, that other page is pretty neat, so maybe I should be neat on this page. Not that it matters, but maybe I should do things straight here. That'll look better. Whoops. If you make a mistake, the multi-tool comes to your rescue. I put that on crooked accidentally, so this pops it up very easily, so I can just shift that around and get that straight. So there's the finished page without my journaling that I can add here. For journaling, I love to use Creative Memories designer lined paper. It gives perfect lines for journaling, and it comes in white, Spargo, or natural. I use Spargo because that's the color that I've been using, the color pages that I'm using in this album, so it matches really well. And one thing I did that I will tell you do differently is I put my pictures down and then I journaled. That's a mistake. I should always journal first and then put my pictures down, because I may have had more to say than I just did. So I'm going to see if this fits, and I don't like the way that fits. So since I made that mistake, I've got to use this multi-tool without destroying my page and move these pictures up a little bit. So learn from my mistake here and journal first, then position everything. And as you can see, I'm using the regular tape runner that I'm having to pull up, and you can see the multi-tool is doing the job. It's a little bit more difficult. I should really know to use just Repositionable by now. Now, do I want to mat the journaling box? I don't think so. I just want it down here at the corner. And I finished the page. And this Argyle pattern with the same papers across both pages makes a beautiful 2-page spread. I love having the border over here with the small 1-inch cut diamonds, and then we have the larger 2.5-inch diamonds to make the background for this page. I think it turned out great, and I want to thank my viewer Ellen for making the suggestion of using this as a background. So I tried her idea and I absolutely love it. I hope you enjoy this easy technique on your pages. If you are a subscriber to my channel, thanks so much. I appreciate you. If not yet, be sure to hit like and/or subscribe to see all future videos. Thanks for watching.